Welcome, your ultimate destination for football news. Graham Potter gets his very own version of Kylian Mbappe. Stay tuned for more news on this exciting story as it develops. In the meantime, be sure to check out all of the other awesome news and content on the channel. Chelsea completes mega transfer as Graham Potter gets his very own version of Kylian Mbappe. When the news broke back in October that Christopher Nkunku had signed a pre-contract agreement to join Chelsea next summer, several supporters said the same thing. Chelsea bought Timo Werner from Leipzig as well, you know. Getting the same vibes with Nkunku, one Twitter user said. Another revealed, I'm afraid of Timo Werner vibes with this one. It's true. Chelsea did buy Werner from Leipzig in the summer of 2020. At the time, Blues supporters were exuberant at the prospect of one of the highest-rated attacking talents in Europe leading them to Premier League glory. The talent I think Timo has, the work ethic, his personality and humility shone through for me. When speaking to him, former Chelsea boss Frank Lampard said when the club confirmed the signing of Werner. So I am very excited to have him in all senses. He's a player that we liked. I've certainly followed him for a long time myself, individually just as a talented player, even before I had this job. He's got huge talent and had a fantastic season this year, but before that as well. We were very clear about the fact we wanted to improve. And Timo Werner is always a signing that will improve us. However, in his 2 seasons at Chelsea, Werner's time was somewhat substandard. In 56 Premier League games, the 26-year-old, who has since returned to RB Leipzig, scored just 10 goals. Concerns the same will happen with Nkunku when he does eventually sign, are understandable but at the same time perhaps unjustified. Binkowski, who watches Nkunku regularly, thinks the Werner comparisons are somewhat unfair and explained why in an exclusive interview. They're only justified if they think Kevin De Bruyne, Son Heung-min and Kai Havertz are terrible players, Binkowski said. Timo Werner has been a hot and cold player throughout his career and has always relied on his pace to make up for the shortcomings elsewhere in his game. Nkunku is a very different type of player. Nkunku is a quintessential modern-day forward. Nowadays, players get asked to play all across the front line, with many managers liking their attack to be fluid and unpredictable. Just see Manchester City and Liverpool in recent seasons for an example. The France international is someone who has been tasked with playing every position across the front line for Leipzig. Whether it's out on the left, right or through the middle, the 25-year-old has proven his significance for the Red Bull club. See below for his average rating, via who scored, in numerous attacking roles this season. Where he is most complete, though, is through the middle. And this is backed up by the above ratings, whether it's in the number 10 role or as the center forward. Although he's perhaps known for being a winger, I would say he's developed into more of a complete forward at RB Leipzig over the past 2 or 3 seasons, Binkowski added. He can play as a winger and create goals, but he's just as comfortable playing through the middle and scoring them too. And he's by no means a pushover in the box either. So he does have a penalty box presence about him. Chelsea has an array of attacking talents at their disposal already in under Graham Potter. We've seen some great, free-flowing football, even this early on in the 47-year-old's tenure. A positive with the following attackers, Kai Havertz, Raheem Sterling, Christian Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech, Mason Mount and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, is that they are all flexible and can do jobs in different positions. Despite this, all of them bar Aubameyang have failed to nail down a consistent position for themselves. Havertz has played several times as a false 9 but has also been used slightly deeper, while Mount, Pulisic, Sterling and Ziyech have all been used in various roles behind the central striker. Some of them, Sterling and Pulisic mostly, have even been used as wing-back. So it becomes integral that Nkunku, when he does join, can solidify a position in Potter's attack and not be used as a utility player. The numbers he has recorded at Leipzig over recent seasons, 20 assists and 31 goals last term, suggest that he will be used as the long-term number 9. Aubameyang is now 33 and is on a short-term contract at Stamford Bridge, so there must be plans for the future in that regard. If Nkunku is the man to become the focal point in Potter's system, then there will be a huge amount of pressure on his shoulders. Chelsea knows all about the talent of Nkunku, and I understand the club sent scouts to watch the France international over the past couple of seasons. Blues scouts were massively impressed with what they witnessed from the Frenchman. Now, Italian football reporter Fabrizio Romano has claimed Chelsea has completed the signing of Nkunku. Romano said the deal is 100% closed and the Frenchman will join in July 2023. The club will have some sort of plan in place for Nkunku, and it will have already been discussed internally where they see him playing in the future. He's a very quick, skillful and direct player, a collection of attributes every number 9 could do with, and something that has now led to comparisons with one of the world's greats in a certain Kylian Mbappe. As silly as it sounds to compare anyone to Kylian Mbappe, he's perhaps the most obvious comparison, Binkowski added. I'm not suggesting that Nkunku is quite as good as his compatriot, but he was being lined up as a potential replacement for the French star, had he moved to Real Madrid. He's quick, skillful and extremely direct. The comparisons make a lot of sense. It's not always been trouble-free for Nkunku, though. He joined Paris Saint-Germain in 2010 when he was just 13 years old. He came through the academy for the French club and made his professional debut in December 2015. After years of making brief cameos and often featuring in cup ties, Nkunku was at somewhat of a crossroads. A decision that countless footballers have had to make in their time: stay at the club and sit comfortably on the bench, or move abroad and look to play more football. Thankfully for his career, Nkunku chose the latter and joined RB Leipzig in 2019 on a 5-year deal. Binkowski added, "I couldn't say for certain since I don't cover French football, but from what I've read and been told, the player simply wanted to pick up game time elsewhere and get out from the shadow of bigger names. Like so many players that have since left the French club to become stars in their own right. He cost around £11.5 million, but it was a risk for the German club. But, as so often happens with the Red Bull club transfer model, their risk paid off. The model, which is spearheaded by Leipzig director Christopher Nkunku, who was wanted by Chelsea recently, sees Leipzig buy somewhat unknown talent on the cheap and look to sell them on for extraordinary profit when the time is right. With Nkunku, they will have had him for 4 seasons by the time the current campaign is over. Chelsea looks to have got their man. Despite spending around £300 million on attacking players in the last 4 years, Nkunku will be hoping to be the man to revolutionize the club's offensive lineup. I'm waiting for your opinion in the comments. Please do not forget to like this video, and remember to turn on the notification bell. As always, subscribe to the channel, and see you soon.